Let's go into today's breaking news. J.J. Watt posted on social media how this game against the Bucks on Sunday was his kid's first NFL game and his last home game. So he's essentially announcing his retirement at the end of the year. Do you think J.J. Watt will be a first ballot Hall of Famer and get his gold jacket when he's eligible in the 2028 Hall of Fame draft, or Hall of Fame, I guess, class?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. He's been a great player. And he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
He does not have a Super Bowl
That's
ring.
too bad because he deserved one. He had some injuries. He had some seasons where he was hurt a lot, and so he was hampered by that. But when he was out there in his prime, man, there was nobody better. And his brother was very good too.
Yes.
So I hope he gets into the Hall of Fame. I think he's deserving of it.
I would definitely define J.J. Watt as the Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald came in 2014. At that point in J.J. Watt's career, in 2014, if we're talking about the end of the 2014 season, J.J. Watt had already had 2 seasons of over 20 sacks. I believe he's the only player in history to have 2 seasons of over 20 sacks or more. At that point, he was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He made 3 straight All-Pros, 3 straight Pro Bowls, and in 2014 he was the runner-up for the MVP. Some of his career accolades are: he's a 5-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He won a Walter Payton Man of the Year after, I believe it was Hurricane Sandy, I believe. Or it may have been, but he did a tremendous job with the, I believe
he's very big in the community.
I believe he was still with the Texans in 2017.
Very, very prominent in the community, doing a lot of good things outside of his football career.
Yeah.
And that speaks highly of him as well.
And, I mean, obviously, in retrospect, you take a look at that at the Bucks game. He played outstanding in that Bucks game. I think he knew before going into that game, or maybe even going before, like right before the season, knowing, yeah, this is probably my last year, I'm going to hang it up. And what sucks is that he's only 33 years old.
Yeah.
He's dealt with injuries. You know, he had 2 seasons where he played a total of 8 games.
Yeah.
It was 2016, 2017. You know, sort of in his prime. You know, that 2016 season, he was coming off a season leading the league in sacks at 17.5. I mean, like I said, he's the Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald here.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about greatest defensive players of all time,
he's up there.
I think he's up there. You know,
it's just too bad he had those injuries. That's all.
Would I put him in my?
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't have been on a team that could get to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I would either seriously look at it, but I think I would put him in my top 10. Truthfully,
defensive lineman.
I mean, I put him in my top 5 at defensive lineman. I'll talk about defensive players, maybe all time, in the general context of things, because Aaron Donald says, in just the general scheme of defense, it's him and Lawrence Taylor. Well, if I'm saying that J.J. Watt was the Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald came into the league, I think it's perfectly viable to say J.J. Watt, top 10 defensive player all time. I throw in Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. You might throw Patrick Willis in there. Obviously, Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald are in there.
There's been a lot of good defensive players.
Maybe throw Champ Bailey in there. I'd probably throw Champ Bailey in there.
No.
There's a lot of players.
Reggie White.
Throw him in there. Mean Joe Green you throw in there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good football players out there.
But I think you could argue
that those guys you've been naming are Hall of Fame players, and he's right up there with them.
I think J.J. Watt would absolutely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. During his prime, 2012 to 2015, he was one of the most, if not the most, unstoppable defensive end in the league. Was truly unstoppable. The only downside is he played for the Houston Texans. They just couldn't do.
Yeah. Well, they got to the playoffs a few times. They just couldn't do much.
They just couldn't do anything in the playoffs. Because his first season where he had 20.5 sacks, they went 12-4. Gary Kubiak as their head coach and Matt Schaub. There's your first problem. You had Matt Schaub as a quarterback. They made it all the way to the divisional round, lost 41-28 to the Patriots. It was just unfortunate. And then the following year, they went 2-14. J.J. Watt in that year had 10.5 sacks that year. Still made an All-Pro. They went 2-14 after going 12-4.
That's ridiculous.
That was Wade Phillips as their head coach at the end of the year. The following year, they get Bill O'Brien. They went 9-7, missed the playoffs. Then the following year after that, they go 9-7 again. They lost 30-0 to the Chiefs. 30-0 in 2015. 2016, towards the end of his prime, they go 9-7, make it to the divisional round, lose 34-16 to the Patriots again, and had Brock Osweiler as their starting quarterback that year.
Yeah. They're another team that hasn't really found a quarterback.
Yeah.
For a long period. Well, they had Deshaun Watson, right? And then
They
he
did.
got in trouble, got suspended. Yeah. He hasn't been much, right? Deshaun Watson for the Browns, he hasn't looked like any world beater, right?
No.
They would have been better off with keeping Baker Mayfield this year. They probably would have won more games.
Even Jacoby Brissett, keep him in there. But I don't know. J.J. Watt just seems like a very nice guy. I mean, towards the end of, I think it was
Really, really quality guy.
It was. I mean, I forget who. I believe it was J.J. Watt. I think he was talking to. It was on Hard Knocks, I believe. I think he was talking to. Was it Kyler Murray? I think he mentioned Kyler Murray during it was like a mic'd up. He apologized for wasting some parts of his early career, like the early years of his career, just wasting it away. I think that was J.J. Watt, and I think it might have been on the Cardinals. It was either that or it was it might have been Deshaun Watson at the end of the Texans run, but I'm not too sure. But I think it was J.J. Watt. He's just a very, very nice guy. It sucks how he's retiring at 33, but you know it could be he might make a return because I mean Larry Fitzgerald just gave up on the Cardinals. He said, you know what, I'm done. After his first year with Kyler Murray, he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk away here. I think Larry Fitzgerald could have kept going maybe, but who knows? It looks like J.J. Watt's taking a step back. He's retiring. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I think definitely he's gonna get a gold jacket first try. Pro Football Hall of Fame 2028. You'll see J.J. Watt as a first ballot Hall of Fame.
I hope so.